Good morning, children. Today we shall start with the very first chapter of our literature book. It is a prose. Prose means chapter, not a poem. Its name is The Most Beautiful Thing. Now we shall read it together aloud. You will read it at your home. I will read it here for you people. And wherever we will find any difficult word, I will tell you the meaning on that very spot, and you will write that meaning in your book with the pencil. So, shall we start? Read this story about a 5-year-old boy Ramchand who has been asked to make the most beautiful thing in the world from a lump of dough. Lump of dough means a piece of kneaded flour. Kneaded flour means gunda hua atta. A lump piece of that flour. Find out how he and his parents react when he cannot figure out what to make. He is not able to make the most beautiful thing. So let's start reading. Ramchand had been born 26 years ago. At the time, his father ran a very small shop in Amritsar that sold, among other things, rice and pulses, candles and brooms, sugar and gram flour, fried groundnuts, and homemade biscuits. I will explain every paragraph, so you need not worry. Now, what the story says? Ramchandra was born 26 years ago, and at that time, his father was running a very small shop, grocery shop. And in that shop, he used to sell rice, pulses, biscuits, and other kitchen things, brooms, candles, sugar. You know, broom? Cleaning, with which we clean the floor, and gram flour, fried groundnuts, and other things. Ramchand loved the gunny sack smell of the shop. Gunny sack means, you remember sack race, in which we used to get into the sack and then we have to jump. So the same sack, bori. The gunnies, he used to love that smell in that shop. The small family lived in a smaller room behind the shop that had a tiny adjoining toilet. One corner of the room was curtained off with an old doubled up red sari of Ramchand's mother. Now the family was living in a very small room. Attached to this room was a very small toilet, and one corner of that room was curtained off. There was a curtain, and that corner was used as washroom. The curtain was made up of Ramchand's mother's sari, and that corner was used as washroom where there was a small bucket with a mug. Now let's read further. A plastic bucket and mug were placed here, and family used this space as a bathroom. Another corner of the room formed the small kitchen, an area where Ramchand's mother cooked on a tiny stove, rolled out perfectly round chapatis, neatly chopped onions and tomatoes, and arranged shining clean steel utensils in neat rows. She always told Ramchand to keep away from the stove. She had smiling, serious eyes, and she wore a leaf shaped gold nose stud on her tiny, straight nose. Now, in one corner, there was washroom for the family, and the another corner of that small room was used as a kitchen. They were not very rich and poor people, so only one room was there for their living. And in that kitchen, Ramchand's mother used to make perfect chapatis, chop onions. Chopped means to cut onions, tomatoes, to make vegetables. And she was a very sweet lady having nose studs. a jewelry worn in the nose. She had sharp features and she always told Ramchand to stay away from the stove. Ramchand's mother was a good homemaker. She used to clean the utensils nicely. She was good cook also. Is it clear? Now let's read the next paragraph. One day she had finished kneading dough to make chapatis and was about to get the kerosene stove going. Little boys should never go near fire. Understand? Don't forget. Remember what happened to Chuhu? She told the 5-year-old Ramchand who was hovering around her. Hovering means floating around her, moving near her. Then, seeing him look a little mutinous, for he always liked to be as close to his mother as possible, she pulled. Here, Ramchand's mother is instructing him that he must not come near the stove, otherwise, he will get burnt. So, she was warning him with the example of Chuhu. She told him that Chuhu got burnt because she was not careful. But Ramchand wants to be with his mother.